Hi, welcome to Moyna Bass Fishes. I'm Jim Moyna, and it is the eve of the 2023 Tacklewarehouse Invitational Tournament on Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma. So I've spent today was off limits. We're not allowed to be out there. So today was sleep in. So I got to bed about 8, eat, did some tackle, got in some exercising, then had to shower up, go do some promotional work, go to registration, go back do some more promotional work, and then work on my tackle all the way until now, and it's almost 10 o'clock. So busy day. These off days are you think if you don't know, you might think, he's got a day to just go out and enjoy the town or go golfing, whatever. No, no, it's a busy day. The tackle takes up a lot of the time. Um, everything's got to be, everything's got to be tight, meaning no details are overlooked. Every detail is addressed. Things are ready to go. Because it just takes one oversight of one little detail can cost you a huge fish or even a keeper fish, which in this game it's ounces, and ounces matter. Ounces can make the difference between cashing a check, not cashing a check, or worst case scenario, ounces can mean winning or finishing runner up. So all these details, and that's what I tell everybody. Tournament fishing, there isn't any one element that makes you a good or bad tournament angler. It's the culmination of all the little tiny details that you do that make you uh, good, make you successful. Tournament fishing's so much about tournament fishing is what you know, and then applying that, whether it's what you know as far as locations in a lake, or what you know is how to properly set up properly matching a rod, reel, line to a bait. That's all real important, and paying attention to those details. Um, Making sure you have backup stuff. So I'm pretty good at, one of my strengths is making sure my equipment is ready to go and it's at its best. And all those little details surrounding equipment, surrounding my techniques, the little nuances of each technique that I do, making sure all that stuff's tight. Um, Probably the weakness in my game is uh, bass location, knowing where the prime community spots are in a lake. I don't know these things. I come in, I don't know these things. It's probably been to the detriment of my success that I don't know these things. And why don't I know these things? Well, you have to network with I mean, these lakes go off limits for way before, as soon as the schedule is announced, a lot of times these lakes are already off limits. They go off limits towards gathering information. So by networking, I'm talking you network lakes that aren't even on the schedule, and you learn those lakes. That's what some of these guys are doing that are really successful, is they just have these vast networks, and they learn these lakes before they're even on a schedule. So and they have these people that they've networked, they can call any given time. Not everybody does it that way, and that's not how I do it. I've very rarely have I ever tried to, rely on something that somebody told me, and it's just, and that was the one time it actually worked was way long ago, before there was even there was no rules on information gathering. So it did work one time for me, but otherwise it just, I don't even bother, and I just get more satisfaction out of cracking the lake, breaking it down myself, and just one man ganging it. Sure, I might talk to some other fishermen as far as, hey, how's your bite? Are you catching a lot? You getting any quality fish? I might, like my Bridgeford partner, teammate, Matt Stefan, we usually ask each other, hey, you catching much? What kind of weights do you think you're going to need? We kind of delve into that, but he goes about it his way, I go about it my way. We don't really talk about patterns too much, and we don't talk about what parts of the lakes are hot and cold. That's just not what we do. That's not what I do. I've always I've really kind of one-man ganged it for the most part. So, but it's always fun to talk to other anglers about techniques after the tournament and stuff like that. I find that being useful. So that's kind of sharing information after the event's done. I like to do that and carry that discussion, log it into my brain, carry that discussion moving forward. And it's usually patterns. Most often I'm not sharing exact locations, maybe general vicinities. Like on Okeechobee, I might say, yeah, I was down in South Bay, or I was up on the North Shore, whatever. But not typically exact locations, although there are some exceptions to that. So anyways, I don't know how I got into all that, but the interesting thing about tomorrow is all the practice we had just we either had no wind or just a little. The third day we had a little bit of a wind, but not too bad. Maybe like a 11, 12 mile an hour wind, whatever. Tomorrow they're saying it could be rather gusty at times. So when this happens right on the spawn, see, I'm kind of set up to go catching spawning fish. That's kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do. But I've also rigged up a bunch of power gear, because when that wind starts blowing, and some of these mud lines start forming, hey, that could be the cue for some of these fish to start feeding. There might still be some pre-spawn fish. There might be some post-spawn fish that are ready to bite. So when that wind gets cranking, somewhere that power game is probably going to be in play. And the finesse game, the bedding game, sight fish. I mean, I'm not going to be doing so much sight fishing because the water clarity is no good, but just fishing really slow, meticulous. That's going to be hard to do in really gusty conditions. So it's going to be interesting to see what wins out tomorrow. And in the tournament, it'll be interesting because it's supposed to blow pretty good the first 2 days, and then the third day, just not so bad. All right, this video is long enough. I got to get to bed, and thanks for watching, you guys. Over.